Dream of Californication. Dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. Boom, 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 boom. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? With a shame on my face, I'm going to reveal this story and why I say it with a shame. I say it with a shame because this is a very, even though I wouldn't like to admit it, but in a way it is. Wait a second. Let me just write Red Hot Chili Peppers on my screen right here just to get influenced by the guys, the G's. Because at the end of my 2 years, it was 2 years in college. I never went like into the college, the university. I was like with my friends. And the third year, after a night, the Heal Me in the first album, the song Heal Me describes that night. It was like the third year was kind of like just the band. So for a lot of you who don't know, you might be like, well, this guy, 21 years old in 2016, he said to himself, okay, I'm going to be a superstar, right? And I'm going to lock myself up and pretend that I am in a prison, in a cell, right here. It's like Norway. If you see like the prisons in Norway, it's exactly like that. And I'm going to work all day and all night, and I'm going like to succeed and go to Hollywood and all that. But before all that, I tried to go to Hollywood, to America, with my friends, at least in my mind, right? And my dad, when I was like 5 years old, as I told you, he didn't let me like to pursue the music thing. And my dad was a very hard person. You know what I mean? Like he had his own issues. I understand him. As I grow older, I understand my dad and how life went with him and all that. And I was always like that shy little kid, you know. I was like, first of all, I was born like in Albania, so I was an immigrant in Greece. So I was always, you know, like that shy kid, you know, immigrant kid. I wasn't like very communicative. Um, I wasn't like very, how to say it, very talkative to people. So for a lot of you who might be like, oh, Ronaldo, singer, he sings and all that, I wasn't even able to speak. If somebody wasn't like my friend, I wouldn't like speak to them. You know what I mean? I wouldn't talk, let alone sing in front of them, etc., etc. That's what I wanna like say right now. Is that I was like so shy that I wasn't even. It didn't like even. It wouldn't even like pass in my mind, you know, to even sing, right? So I had my first friend from those three was Jim. So Jim was like at the same years old, like I am, right? The same year, and Jim would play like the guitar, you know what I mean? But the guy was like he wasn't just like a guitar player. Like he was like with a guitar, and in general in music he was like a genius. You know what I mean? Like he was like very, 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 very good. Especially like with the guitar, he was like. And I remember when I was like 18, before, like at that time, I also had another friend, and he had another friend, and I bought a guitar secretly from my dad, like at 16, I think, 17. And I got like private lessons with him, like strumming. He taught me like how to strum, like A minor, E minor, G, D, tan, 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 tan. And the guy was like a gypsy. So if a lot of people like might wonder why I have like so much rhythm, it was because like my first teacher like had, because like the gypsies like inherently, and he was like a great musician, also a singer. He had like a great, you know what I mean, a great rhythm. So he taught me like how to play like a rhythm, like very good. So my only kind of music, so to speak, music ability was like that, just like guitar rhythm, you know what I mean, acoustic guitar, A minor, E minor, whatever, like the simple like chords. Sometimes I would like try the barre chords and all that. I didn't know what 7s, 9s, 11s, 13th were. Not that I know now, but you know what I mean. At that time I was like that simple stuff. But Jim was like on the level, and on the level of Frusciante, you know what I mean? Like, and he would like he would post on his Facebook page, you know what I mean? He would post at that time we all like had like Facebook like here in Alexandria in Greece. Jim was like from a village, so Alexandria is like, imagine like Alexandria like is a small town, but it's like it's the main town, and around Alexandria there are villages, you know what I mean? So Alexandria like is a center, you know what I mean? But people would come like from villages, and everyone in Alexandria like would know like, oh, this guy is like from that village, or like in this village right there, you know what I mean? So you might kind of think like the suburbs and all that, but never mind, villages. So but he would go like to the high school here in Alexandria, because there are 2 high schools, right? So he would post like, I remember like the snow, you know what I mean? And he would have like, he didn't even have like a Fender. He had like a guitar like those like the Metallica, that kind of guitar, the metal guitar, and he would play that, and he wouldn't even like show his face, like those people like who are like very good like with guitar, and they never like show their faces, and just like they play because he was shy also. And I was like, man, like another time I really, really, really loved like Red Hot Chili Peppers, right? And I was like, man, like I gotta befriend this guy. I don't know, like something in my soul was like, I gotta befriend this guy. I don't know, like this guy, there is something like with this guy. At that time, all I knew was like how to play like football. No, how to play like simple guitar. Like I didn't know anything. When I say anything, I mean like anything. I didn't know what a kick and a snare was like in the drums. You know what I mean? Like to pop, to pop, to pop, to pop. I didn't know that. And I was like, man, I don't know. Like I gotta befriend this guy. So somehow, weird, because like it's a small town and all that, somehow like God like he kind of like brought us together, and because I have like, but I don't know why, man, like I don't know why, like I have something like in my soul, and I have like a great sense of humor, so I would always like make him laugh and all that. And he kind of like, like we kind of vibed like together, you know what I mean? And in the first year, it was like me and Jim together all day, 24/7, all day in university, right? Because like we both like went into university, and we would listen like to songs, right? And I don't know, but I strongly remember that I would tell him like, man, like you have like all these skills in the guitar and all that, man, like you gotta create a band or something like that. I don't know why, but I kept like telling him, and I remember that. And somehow, you see how life it is, man. So me and Jim would share that, like our love, like for Red Hot Chili Peppers, and especially we would love a lot John Frusciante. You know what I mean? Because at that time, I would listen a lot to his solo album, to the Empyrean, and I was like, I would listen to John Frusciante as I was like doing like my math calculations, physics, and all that before like going to university. That last year of high school, every night the same album, Empyrean. And in the second year, somehow, I don't know why, but Jim says to me, "You know what, man? It's like I found a guy, and he's like a cool guy." He's like a cool guy, and he also like plays the drums, man. And not only that, but he also likes Red Hot Chili Peppers. And I was like, what? But when I used like to tell him like about the band, then like I kind of like, like I forgot it. It was like a night, like when you smoke with your friend and all that, and you just talk and talk and talk. And I never like thought like he would like, or like somehow God will, like arrange all those stuff. And I say these stories because yesterday, man, I was like very nostalgic. I don't know why, but I got like very nostalgic, like for Thessaloniki. Like it's like the big city. And the last times that I went like to Thessaloniki after that 3-year period, 13, 14, 15, yeah. After those 3 years, for me, like the city was never the same, and I don't know why, but I know why, because like it is not the city, but it's the people that you meet in the city, like and the stories and all that. And I was like, oh man, like in my mind, like yesterday, like because I was stressed, oh, once I make it and all that, man, I'm gonna go like to Thessaloniki before I go like to America and all that. But then again, I was like, there is nothing there anymore for me. Never mind. And so it was like the second year. The second year started. We got our hearts broken by a couple of girls. As I said, like in the first album, the love of my life, I got my heart broken. He got his heart broken from another girl. And we gonna meet like this guy, like his name like is George. And he says he knows you. Wow. I was like, what the fuck? Who this guy is, man? So we go out and we get like in there. The George guy, he comes. Oh, this guy is George. Now, oh man, I can't believe it, man. Like the image is all that. It's like a movie, and what a life. So up until that moment, even though like throughout my life here in Greece, like when I would watch like a film, a movie, like in American movie, I was like, oh, America, man, I would love to go to America. when I would like listen to a song and all that, Hollywood, but you know what I mean, like it was like so I kind of like got it out of my mind. I was like, what the fuck am I thinking? You know what I mean? And now like the new character comes like into the scene, and tuk. He wears like a, he was like in a lesson. Now me and George, we share the exact same birthday. You know what I mean? Like he was born like in the exact same day as me, but he's like 4 years older than me. And George plays the drums. And he comes there, like we sit, we drink coffee, all that, we talk. Always, as I said before, with strangers, I'm like, like I always like try like to check and all that. I'm always like, I'm not like so open and all that. And we have like the same zodiac sign, so he was the same in a way, but he would like crack jokes and all that. But I was like very, very insulting. Oh my god, this guy. So how would he know like who I would be like? So the first day, these two they immediately like like they became boom friends, because they shared like the same love like for music. You know what I mean? Like the one like was playing like the guitar, the other the drums, and they would start like and talking like about like, and I was there. I don't know why I was there, man. I was just there. So that day, jokes after jokes after this after that. The reefer. Someone bring the reefer. Now George looked like a Greek singer, like to me, man. Like they look like the same. So as we would, but I would like tell like to Jim, like that he looks like this singer. And when we would sit like the three of us, like in that first, after like the coffee, I would always like sing like that a Greek song, but by that singer, And then he left. But what he did was like very, very, very. I don't know, man. He left, but he put like his ear behind like the door, and he would listen. But I wasn't like saying like something like bad about him. I was just like saying like he looks exactly like that singer, right? So like he heard it. And like from that time, like from that day, from the first day, he started like not liking me, right? So he was like very aggressive towards me always. uh and one day like he told me, like one night, he said like, you say that I look like that singer, right? And I was like, how would you know? And from that day, whatever it was, I will just like say to him, you know what I mean? And I would always, always, always poke him, always poke him, always poke him, because he also was like single child, you know what I mean? Like he didn't have like brothers, sisters, and I am like single child, and we shared the same birthday, so I would always like have him like as the big bro. Now, George, even though like he would always like not give an F about me, but uh George, one day he said, you know what? Not one day, like from the beginning. he would say like, we are going like to make the band. I was never like in the band's like plan, but he said like, we are going like to make the band, and we are we are gonna go like to America. You know what I mean? And I was like, I wanna come like with you guys. And he said like, what you gonna do like there? Uh, I don't I don't care. I'm gonna be like a bartender or some shit like that. I don't care. And he was laughing. And so after that, like they would always like say like about Red Hot Chili Peppers and all that. And Jim said, you know what? There is a guy like in my village, you know, and this guy, you know, like he knows like how to play like guitar and drums and all that. But the only instrument that he doesn't know like how to play like is bass. But we need a bassist because like it was like either like a bass and a singer, right? And now George, bear in mind that George had like that vision, like Red Hot Chili Peppers, Red Hot Chili Peppers, no other band, Red Hot Chili Peppers. This is it. So it wasn't like, you know what I mean, like 3 guitar players, let's say, right? 1 bassist, synthesizer, drums, singer, backup singers, and all that. No, 4 guys, drums, guitar, bass, and the singer, right? So they find Konstantin, right? Me and Konstantin, we have like the same name, Konstantinos, Kostas, right? And Konstantin, he doesn't know how to play bass at all. He never played bass. And what this guy does, right? He goes like and he buys a bass. Or I think, no, George had a bass. You know, like those, I think the Fender, you know, like the cheap ones. You know, like the ones like the beginner. And he starts like with that bass. And immediately, like he learns like Flea, you know, like because like George was like Red Hot Chili Peppers, Red Hot Chili Peppers. So he starts like learning like Flea songs, Red Hot Chili Peppers, but Flea like, and he starts like learning the slap and all that. And I don't know how he managed it, but in a span of like I don't know, like of 1 month, 2 months, like he immediately like became like boom, level, pro level. Up until that time, like he was playing just guitar, you know what I mean? And he didn't even play like he didn't care, right? And he immediately he learns like bass effortlessly, right? Now Jim knows like guitar, exceptional, and George, even though I like to poke at him, even after years, you know. But also George, like he plays like great drums, at least at that time when I was like there. And George, like he learned like in a span like of I don't know, like of months, I think. He learned like everything, like in the drums, you know, like he had the teacher and boom, that was it. And he said like, oh, I'm gonna make like a band. You know, he didn't know how to play drums at all. He went at 19, I think, old, right? Boom, he learned and he was like there. And he wasn't even practicing, man. And that's what I would always like tell him, like, you are lazy, you don't practice. But he had everything, like, oh, the groove, all that, he knew. And now, like, after years that I learned about music and all that, now I appreciate how great these guys were. You know what I mean? So after like a couple of months, they would like always like try like I was like very shy whenever like I would like go to the mic and try the microphone and try, you know, like I would like I get bad from my name is Deb. then I would sit down again, defeated from life. And then another friend that we have, John. So everyone would try like to kind of sing a little bit and all that, but nobody like was like nobody nobody was like doing anything, you know what I mean? It was just pure noise. So these guys, then the three of them, they went on to try like to find other. They posted, I think, like how is it like on the I don't remember that site, Craigslist. You know how it's like in America on Craigslist. I think they posted somewhere like here in Greece, like we are looking like they auditioned, and a couple of people like they showed. I wasn't there, but I heard the stories, and they kind of like got defeated by that. They said, "Man, like we can't find nobody." So after that night in the Hilmi, after that Hilmi night, it was like summer night. I don't know, something happened to me in my brain. That's why I say like in that the bright triad, like it's all about like the brain, man. Something happened, and I said, you know what? Like I'm gonna get into this singer thing, man. I'm gonna get into it. And they rented a studio in Thessaloniki, and it was like 2 years that I was staying like in Thessaloniki after my parents like this they got divorced. I went like back in Alexandria, and the third year I was like Alexandria with the train to Thessaloniki, stay one night or whatever, go back. You know what I mean? I would stay at gyms, and then I would go back. So it was again kind of uh, kind of roommate, but I wasn't paying anything. You know what I mean? Like just one night, 2 nights, go back. Even though like he would tell me like stay, man. Like, but I was like. Ashamed, you know what I mean? So I was like, no, man, like I gotta go back. So, and I started singing, man. Like, and it was like these guys, like they would poke me, like go and sing a little bit. And I remember before that Heal Me night, the first time that it started, like, wait, there's something like with this boy right here. It was like with a song. It was called "Suck My Kiss." Should have been, could have been, would have been, yeah. If I didn't get a man to my head, I am what I am. Not motherfucking don't give a damn. Oh baby, think you can be my girl? I'll be your man. Someone full of fun to me till well I'm down. Little Bo Peep coming from my tongue gun. Beware, take it. So I wasn't like singing it as I'm singing right now. It was like almost like da 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 da. But they were like, well, it is like it's not that bad, you know what I mean? And so after they heal me, right? My brain like, and I would go like back. I would go like to Thessaloniki to the studio, like they rented, and I was like, guys, like let's go, let's do it. You know what I mean? And I was like very, very, very into it, very into it. But and I started becoming like good. You know what I mean? Like I really started becoming good. Like I started like singing songs from Stadium Arcadium. You know what I mean? Come to the side of the things that I tried in my life just to get high on the west alone. Come get a little known, but I need more of myself this time. And I would like put emotion into it, man. And Anthony, because a lot of you always like say, oh, Anthony, Anthony, Anthony. Anthony, man, like, he's so good, you know. Of course, uh, Fleet, Sad, John, like, they are like great musicians, right? Um, but Anthony, even though he doesn't have like a musical background, he doesn't know how to play piano, let's say, or guitar or whatever. He writes lyrics and he sings, right? And he raps. So he's the first of all, he's the first rapper plus singer, you know. He's the first one to ever do it, and so successfully. So his style is extremely unique, extremely unique. And if you are a singer, first of all, if you are a singer and you go and you sing like Red Hot Chili Peppers, Anthony Kiedis songs, you wouldn't like how you sound. Trust me, you wouldn't like, because it is very unique. I had friends here in Alexandria. I had a friend. He very good voice. You know what I mean? And he would sing like all these rock and roll songs, you know. And whenever like he would try like to sing Anthony, even though like in the beginning he was making fun of him, right? He'd be like, "Oh man, like he takes like so many like breaths." You know what I mean? And his timing is way different, right? So a lot of people they make fun of Anthony and all that on a couple like of lives that they do. Maybe like sometimes like you get tired and all that, because like it is like very, and you might like go a little bit here and there, and a lot of haters, you know, like they hate on him. But when you try like to sing Red Hot Chili Pepper song, and Anthony was like the first teacher that I had. Like the first songs that I ever sang in my life were Red Hot Chili Peppers, you know. And also one thing, you know what I mean? Like when I would I see like on reels, on shorts, on whatever. I see people covering Red Hot Chili Peppers, and they sound like they suck. Seriously, no, they suck. They are not groovy. They are not there. The singer is like, it's very robotic. They don't funk and all that. Like if you could only like listen like to how we would cover Red Hot Chili Peppers, you would be like, wow. And these people like they get like millions and millions of likes and views on those short form content. But yeah, and after the Heal Me, you know, night, the third year, I was like very there. We was like even better than the Peppers, you know. We outshined the master. We won them at their own game, you know what I mean? And then I would always like tell them, let's write our own songs. Let's write our own songs. We cannot like stay in the shadows of Peppers. Our own songs. And we were like, at that time, like we were like, we were experimenting. We were effed up in our brains. That's why I say, get away from bad things. Get away from drugs. Get away from all that. And the vibes were like very dark and all that. And I was pushing everyone, just work, let's work all day, all night. This is what I'm doing right now, basically. Which it fucked up my mental health. It effed up my life. I suffer PTSD. Well, the PTSD and all that, it's like from my father and a couple of his Tsigani friends. But yeah, after all that, a couple of things went left, and I got back, like, and I started building my imaginary prison in 2016, and saying to myself, you know what, I will try to do it as if I cannot like go with the guys like to America, I will try and do it like uh, with a Dead Mouse, Skrillex kind of route. You know what I mean? Take Ableton and all that, and write like EDM stuff, and go as a DJ to USA. And then from that like go to Hollywood. But what I wanna say like about these guys, these three guys, you know what I mean? Like it's like it was like God sent them like to me, because it wasn't just that they were like mediocre musicians, you know what I mean? Like they were like exceptional musicians, exceptional. But like all that drugs and all that BS, all that man, like it slows people down. And yeah, I will be for thank you first of all. God bless you. God bless your future, your futures, your life, your family, everything. I'm very grateful, guys. If there is somebody like to kind of like be like, oh, you know what, we made this guy. These three are the ones like who have like the thing, you know what I mean? Because they were the only ones. Then okay, you can say like this the guy like who taught me like the guitar, 16 years old. Maybe then you can say like I also had like a good friend who gave me like a hard drive full of movies that I taught myself movie making and all that. But the guy like with the movies, I would say, yeah, he also like helped me a lot with the movie thing. In the future, I will like maybe I will say like the story with my friend. But yeah, these three guys, man, like I didn't even know what a microphone was. You know what I mean? And these people, like, they would tell me, like, get up, man, like, sing something, say something, which song, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I would be like, yeah, man. That's how it was. I cannot say otherwise. Like these guys, like I'm very grateful, man. And they were like, in my opinion, like they were like a gift from God to me. You know what I mean? And yeah, baby, Red Hot Chili Peppers. So yeah, without any further ado, peace and love. Bye.